It's a really difficult video for us to make right now, and we weren't even sure if we wanted to do it at first. But I think it's important just for our own personal memory.
We started this channel and then went dark. And the last video we posted was probably over a month ago.
Yeah.
Things got a little difficult.
Yeah. So you guys know Prince has been battling a sickness in his stomach since last February. And we almost lost him in February. The vets were all surprised that he kept holding strong, and you know, as weeks went by, we were just grateful for every week, and then the weeks turned into months where we were grateful that every month we still had him and he still lasted. And we went through the whole summer, and it was such a beautiful time.
We even brought him across Canada here to our cottage.
Yeah.
And right now we're actually en route to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
We made a stop here because it's a very important place for Prince. It's his favorite place in the world.
Yeah, and so our plan was to leave to Costa Rica much earlier than this, but Prince's health began to get worse. And we delayed and delayed our trip, hoping that maybe, he kind of used to go through waves like that a lot, that he would get better. And then, once we started going to our vets and just seeing like how his body was doing, it just kind of seemed like his body was giving up at this point. Sorry, it's really hard to talk about it because I promised we wouldn't cry on camera.
It's now Saturday, and last Monday,
we said goodbye.
We said goodbye.
Yeah.
We were blessed with a year of every day being a miracle, and there was such a deep lesson in that.
It just really made you live, like, that saying, it's like live as if you're not gonna get tomorrow, or like you don't know if you're gonna be alive tomorrow. And that's kind of what our year turned with Prince, because at that point we never knew if next week would be it, like if the next month would be it. And so every time we would go to a hike or a park or a drive or take him to the water, the lake, like we just were so grateful to be able to share that experience, and these experiences just were gifted to us for the whole year. 2 days before the day that was going to be the hardest day of our life, we decided to take Prince to one of the most beautiful places on Vancouver Island, and it was a place that we once just discovered by hearing about it, and it's called Cape Scott, right at the very northern tip near Port Hardy. And we remember like the first time we ever saw this beach, we called it true heaven on earth. It was just not only so stunning, but also there's just like this beautiful energy to it. And so we took Prince there. We drove for 8 hours with him in the van for one more time, and we took him to the most beautiful place, and we lit a fire on a beach, and there were moments where he was so happy to be on that beach. You could just see it in his eyes. It was almost like a little puppy came to life. And we would sit around the fire, and then he would pass out because he was just so tired at that point. I think his body was just really tired. But it was really, really special to sit there and to remember and to cry and to rejoice in this beautiful life that we've shared together for the last 8 years with him. We knew this time was going to come. It's not like it was very sudden and out of nowhere. Like, we knew at some point this could only hold on. We could only hold him strong, and all of these drugs we were keeping him on, and like all the pain medications, and he was happy, and it was just got to a point where we started seeing when his comfort level began to decrease. That's when kind of, even our vet was like, his body is time. He was supposed to be turning 9 this year too, which is pretty old, I guess, for a Roddy.
He was such a soldier.
Okay. Go.
So anytime in the last 2 weeks where it's been more difficult than we could handle, we focused a lot on the term gratitude to pull us back to ourselves. And I think a lot of people might not understand our relationship with our dog because they might not have ever had a relationship like this with a quote-unquote pet. But he wasn't a pet. He was one of us. And Juliana and I talk a lot about souls together and us being soulmates, and we truly believe more than anything that he was a part of our soul tribe. As we live this experience possibly over and over, finding each other through each experience in different forms, we learned with Prince that he is a very crucial piece of our soul tribe.
He was truly the most strongest spirit and soul we've ever encountered. In a strange way, it was like having a funeral for a living friend, because we were able to have that moment of gratitude, of pain, of sadness, of everything that comes with losing a great deep love. And we were able to hug him and kiss him and to be there with him one last time.
Before we had Prince, Juliana and I were completely different people. We were lost. And I think when you start life and you're young, you have an authenticity that you live by and that you're truthful with. And then as our culture and all the demands and all the fear and all of the convention that gets pounded into each of us takes its toll over years, you drift away from your true north. And we had drifted very far. And I think we were very uncertain about who we were because of that. And when we got Prince, the first thing he did was demand nature and demand time. He was a very troubled dog. And all we were told by all the different trainers we went to see was that you need to walk him at least 2 hours a day. And although we had never found time for ourselves, all of a sudden the two of us found us in a position where we had to find time with him, and that gave us space in our life where we could think about our life and think about what we really wanted and think about where we wanted to go and how there was so much more to experience that in the current situation we were in, we weren't even coming close to attempting. And then that's when the idea of Boho Beautiful was born, in that space that he forced into our life.
You guys have been very supportive, many of you, to us for the last year as we've been going through it, so you kind of have seen the journey.
So we thought it was important to come here and share this story, his story, with you guys. And we brought a little bit of his remains with us, and because we actually hired an animal communicator.
We did, and
the night before, and she told us that he wanted to come here.
He said, because she can talk and communicate what's happening, apparently, which the message she received from his soul was that he wanted his ashes to be placed near the water, and this is his place. Like, this is where we taught him how to swim. Yeah. This is where he would come from the very beginning, and just this was his favorite place in the world. And so, we came here, and before we're off to Costa Rica now, so we can do this before we move on.
Oh, we're swimming back. There you go. Yay.
And it's something that we owe to him, because every day that we get to do this is a blessing, and we know that. We know that we are so lucky and fortunate to have people like you watching our videos, caring what we have to say, and doing classes with Juliana, and being here on this journey with us. It's more than just yoga, because yoga is more than just the mat, it's life. And Prince brought us to that. And he helped us find the space in our life and challenge us. He taught us that we could work through anything.
When we built the fire on the beach, we actually took all the sticks that he collected on our walks. So we used to, in the area where we live, he would always collect sticks and bring them home. And it was really cute, and we make him leave it at the front door so he doesn't bring sticks inside the house. And so when we left, we filled an entire backpack of these sticks that he picked that were his favorite. And all three of us sat there and we made a fire with those sticks, and it was very special.
Every beginning has an end. Every relationship we have, every story we start, all of us, there's an end with every beginning, and you never know when it's coming.
I remember Mark looked up and I was like, I feel like whenever it is our time to go, I imagine that's what this was gonna look like. This is what heaven looks like, or your path to the next life, or this beautiful beach, or this beautiful water, and you just walk towards the sun, you walk towards the light.
It's going to be with us every day moving forward. I think that's what keeps us together right now.
Yeah. Him physically may not be here, but he'll be in our hearts until the day we die, the day we leave this earth. So it's very special. Look at me, I've cried this whole time, this whole video, I've been crying. Yeah, it's just been a very difficult time for us to go through the last 3 weeks. And I'm 32 weeks pregnant right now, as you can't see, because I'm so cold. I've layered up with like Mark's mom's weird throws. But it's just a lot. Like, a lot of things changing and a lot of things happening very quickly for us. Death and birth and all of life's miracles and sorrow and lessons and challenges being thrown at us. Everything that is brought to us comes with a deeper lesson, and I think that's something we're learning too, is our lesson was to truly realize the deep love that we had. At the very end, when we put the fire out, crying, because we've been crying for the last 2 weeks, I think, and I looked up at the sky and I pointed out to Mark, I'm like, look, there's these beautiful 3 giant black crows, and they were all just flying together, and it was such a significant, symbolic moment at that point as we were closing off and about to walk back to our car. It was like, the Spirit's telling us it's okay, because we will meet again, and we'll fly through the sky just like that, the 3 of us. And that's kind of how it felt. So it was beautiful.
And as part of our soul tribe, I know he will be with us, holding post until we leave this world. Because the only reason he lived this long over this last year is because he didn't want to give up on us.
Love outgrows death.
Yeah.
That's what we've learned too. Yeah.
So thanks, guys. Thank you so much for being with us, always.
And keep him in your prayers and your hearts. Let's keep moving forward.
Say happy birthday, Mom. Go get it.
Say hi.
I like to sing. I like to dance. I like to wear corduroy pants.
He's had enough.